How Gay Men Overcome Sexual Anxiety. Hey guys, Michael Pizzulo here, psychotherapist in West Hollywood. So I've done a couple of videos about examining your sexual development and then understanding your arousal template. Now I'm going to talk about how you can apply this in the future and really develop your most confident sexual self as a gay man. And to do this, I'm just going to give you 5 CBT tools to consider. CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. It focuses on practical ways to change your thinking and your behavior to, make you feel better, basically, and function in different ways in life more optimally. So the first one is, when you think about sexual confidence, is to find a focal point for your confidence. Find something that you're good at, something that makes you feel like you are bringing something to the table that just makes you feel good about yourself. It could be anything. It could be a certain way that you look, a certain body part, a certain skill that you have, whatever it is. You may have multiple things that you're confident in, which is great. But if you're just starting out and you're really anxious about being sexual, just pick one thing that you feel like, yeah, I'm good at this, or I'm, above average at this, or whatever it is. Find something real to anchor your confidence in. I think when people talk about developing confidence in a more general way, it's a little bit more difficult, but when there's something specific, like a data point to anchor it in, it can help. So that's what I would say for the first thing. Second one would be to really challenge these just bullshit distortions about sexual performance. No one is quote unquote good at sex. That's just a ridiculous statement. Sex is like a chemistry thing, right? So it's great with one person, it's terrible with another person, it's mediocre with someone else, whatever. No one is universally, wonderful with everyone. It's just not possible, right? So I think a lot of people that have sexual anxiety have this idea that everyone else is so good at sex and I'm not as good as them or whatever, and all that's nonsense. Every experience is going to be about the chemistry between the two people, even people that have been in long-term relationships, right? So dispel any of these myths about performance and hierarchies of whatever that is, and just really focus on, it's really about the chemistry you have with this person and this one experience, and there is no ranking system. Next would be, yes, again, also about performance, which I've done some other stuff on as well. Gay men have a lot of hangups about sexual performance, but I would say as well too, your perspective coming into sex, just as the third point, would be focus on fun and not performance. Because focusing on performance is going to take you out of the experience. It's going to make you more anxious. And we know that anxious is the biggest way to ruin sexual performance, desire, excitement, all that sort of thing. Also too, keep in mind, you're not a porn star. I mean, probably not, but you know what I mean? Likely when you're having a sexual experience, no one's filming you, no one's watching you, you're not putting on a show, you're just there to enjoy it. So focus less on quote unquote doing a good job and just be there to experience it. And the irony is that by doing that, you actually probably will perform better. The fourth thing I would say, and this is more behavioral, is don't rely too much on substances. I know that people use substances to make sex more exciting or more relaxing. I think classically alcohol, right? People have a couple drinks, they take someone home. And the gay community, obviously, poppers are super common. And then some people do more, dangerous substances that are like stimulants and whatnot. But obviously, you can enjoy things like that in moderation here or there. But the problem is, if you're trying to build your confidence, you're not going to be able to build it under the guise of a substance. Because even if you have a good experience, it's not anchored on you and what you're doing and who you are. It's anchored on this artificial, chemically induced experience. So while it might be fun, and again, while you might be able to enjoy those things here and then, I wouldn't think of that as a way to build confidence. I would just think of that as a way to have fun, and that can be fine again. But if you're really focusing on overcoming sexual anxiety and building your confidence as a gay man, I would try to have experiences where you are sober, where you're just there completely clear-headed and really focusing on yourself in the moment as clearly as possible. And the last thing too, and this is more of a perspective paradigm shift, but really thinking about giving yourself permission to be sexual, which might sound obvious and odd, especially, you know, men and gay men and having high libidos often and so on and so forth, and the culture is so sexual. But you really want to consider, do I give myself permission to be sexual? You'd be surprised, a lot of people, even people who are hooking up constantly, actually really don't. They while they enjoy it, they also feel like they're not sure if they're supposed to. They're a little bit ambivalent about how sexual can I be. So you really want to consider, how sexual do I allow myself to be? Do I give myself permission? When do I give myself permission? All those sorts of things are important to at least consider as you begin to develop more confidence. So hope this was useful. Again, just 5 practical ways to change your thinking, change your perspective, and change your behavior to overcome anxiety as a gay man performing in sex, and hopefully having a more fulfilling sex life. I'll put the links to my download. I have a PDF I'm gonna make that will go through this in more detail, so you can click that below. It's free, you can check it out. I'll also link on my website, a link to reach out to me if you wanna book a consult call. And again, if you like these videos, please subscribe and comment, let me know what you think. And if there's other topics you want me to cover, I am happy to do so. So thank you so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys.